Welcome to Gray Matter Reports. Today we decode. The silence hung in the room like a thick fog, heavy and oppressive. It was here, amid sterile walls and the faint hum of fluorescent lights, that the unthinkable event unfolded. Documents lay scattered across the table, each page a testament to human complexity, cold, clinical, and yet hauntingly alive with the echoes of emotion. A chilling behavioral case, one that challenges the very fabric of our understanding. The individual, once a familiar face within the community, had transformed into an enigma. What drives a person to deviate so drastically from societal norms? The room was meticulously organized, yet the chaos of thought was palpable. The psychological bridge between normalcy and aberration is fraught with perilous gaps. In the mind of this subject, a series of triggers ignited an internal tempest, an unsettling cocktail of isolation, unmet needs, and existential despair. As we delve deeper, we encounter the stark reality of this behavioral deviation. The subject exhibited signs of profound disconnection, an emotional numbness that mirrored the sterile environment surrounding us. Clinical terms often fail to encapsulate the visceral struggle within. Imagine a pendulum swinging between empathy and apathy, a delicate balance that once tipped into darkness. The deep dive reveals layers beneath the surface. Here, biological evidence paints a portrait more vivid than any photograph. Neural pathways, once vibrant, now lay dormant, frayed by trauma and exacerbated by external influences. This individual's journey through life, a case study in the interplay of genetics and environment, illustrates how the human psyche can fracture under pressure. Globally, we must confront the implications of such events. Patterns emerge across cultures and societies, each narrative contributing to a broader understanding of compassion and its absence. The question lingers: can we cultivate empathy in the face of profound deviation? As we approach the final verdict, we grapple with the complexities of human behavior. The event was not just an isolated incident, it was a culmination of myriad factors, a haunting reminder of our shared vulnerabilities. In the quest for understanding, we are left with echoes of empathy, an invitation to explore the depths of compassion within us all. Shadows linger in the corners of the room, where the flickering fluorescent lights hum a dissonant melody. Papers are strewn across the table, case files, psychological evaluations, and behavioral analyses, each document a testament to the complexity of the human psyche. In this somber space, we embark on a journey through the profiles of compassion nestled within the unthinkable. Here we explore the paradoxical nature of empathy amid chaos. The behavioral case presents itself, an individual whose actions defy societal norms, yet reveal glimpses of profound emotional understanding. Patterns emerge, not of malevolence, but of a disjointed moral compass. Each recorded interaction, each spoken word, becomes a piece of a puzzle that paints a portrait of conflicted humanity. To bridge this psychological chasm, we delve into the mind of our subject. The dissonance between their actions and their innate capacity for compassion raises critical questions. What lies beneath the surface? The clinical analogy of a storm-tossed sea captures this state. Turbulent waves of emotion crashing against the rocks of rationality. The individual oscillates between remorse and detachment, illustrating a psychological bridge that connects empathy to antisocial behavior. The deep dive reveals layers of complexity, a history of trauma, perhaps, a childhood marred by neglect. The subject's formative experiences intertwine with their emerging identity, creating a tapestry of emotional scars. Each thread represents a choice, a moment where compassion could have flourished, yet was stifled by the weight of despair. From this microcosm, we expand our lens to the global perspective. Compassion is not an isolated phenomenon, it reverberates across societies. In regions plagued by conflict, individuals emerge as beacons of hope, demonstrating that empathy can thrive even in darkness. Case studies from around the world illustrate how, in the wake of tragedy, humanity often finds ways to unite, turning despair into resilience. The final verdict looms, a synthesis of our findings. Compassion exists within the shadows of the unthinkable, often hidden beneath layers of trauma and conflict. It is not a simple narrative of right and wrong, but rather a complex interplay of circumstance and choice. As we close this chapter, we are left with an enduring question. Can understanding these compassionate profiles reshape our perceptions of humanity, even in its most challenging forms? The air is thick with an unsettling stillness. In the sterile confines of the forensic lab, shadows dance across whitewashed walls, each flicker a reminder of the lives that once echoed here. Documents are neatly arranged, evidence meticulously catalogued. A clinical ambiance pervades, the soft hum of machines providing a backdrop to the silence. The subject, a seemingly ordinary individual, enters our focus. Behavioral deviations unfurl with precision. Patterns emerge, stark and revealing. The first signs appear innocuous, a withdrawn demeanor, an aversion to social engagement. Yet, beneath this facade lies a complex web of psychological intricacies. The antisocial profile begins to crystallize. This is not merely a deviation, it is a psychological bridge, spanning the chasm between ordinary existence and the unthinkable. Each choice, each interaction, becomes a stepping stone leading to a precipice. The individual's capacity for empathy, once robust, begins to erode, replaced by a chilling detachment. Clinical observations suggest that a history of trauma may serve as a catalyst. Environmental influences entwine with biological evidence, creating a perfect storm for emotional disconnection. As we delve deeper, the landscape shifts. We analyze moments of isolation, instances when the subject's responses diverge from societal norms. The ripple effect becomes apparent, how one individual's psyche can disrupt the fragile fabric of communal life. The ramifications extend beyond personal boundaries, influencing relationships, families, and communities at large. Zooming out, the global perspective unfolds. Patterns of disconnection are not confined to a single case. Across continents, similar profiles emerge, each echoing the last. Societal structures fracture under the weight of empathy's decay. We witness a world grappling with the consequences of emotional disengagement, a collective response to rising antisocial behaviors. The final verdict looms. Can we trace these ripples back to their origin? Understanding compassionate profiles in such unthinkable events becomes imperative. The narrative is not merely about the individuals involved, but about the collective responsibility we share. As we analyze the data, the somber truth emerges. Each ripple, each echo, serves as a reminder of the fragility of human connection. The inquiry must continue. The need for empathy remains ever urgent. Shadows flicker against sterile walls. A single fluorescent bulb hums overhead. The room is an altar of silence, filled with the weight of unanswered questions. Documents lie scattered, case files, psychological evaluations, summaries of witness accounts, each representing a flicker of humanity lost in the abyss of the unthinkable. Today, we decode the role of bystanders. The behavioral case unfolds before us like a clinical study, each individual a data point in a larger, often incomprehensible equation. In the face of crisis, bystanders exhibit a spectrum of responses, ranging from indifference to intervention. Consider the individual who witnesses an act of aggression. They stand paralyzed, a victim of the bystander effect, an intricate psychological phenomenon where the presence of others somehow dilutes personal responsibility. The silence of the crowd becomes a cacophony of apathy, each bystander a mirror reflecting the inertia of the collective. Now, let us traverse the psychological bridge. This bridge connects the empathy of an individual with the moral implications of inaction. Imagine the weight of a single gaze meeting the eyes of another in distress. In that moment, a choice is made, to engage or to evade. The mind grapples with conflicting urges, the innate desire to help versus the primal instinct for self-preservation. As we delve deeper, we confront the biological evidence of fear. The amygdala fires, triggering a cascade of physiological responses, heart racing, palms sweating. Yet, it is the frontal cortex that holds the key to rational thought. A tug-of-war ensues, where empathy is often drowned in the tide of anxiety. The global perspective reveals a chilling truth. Across cultures and contexts, the bystander effect persists. Analyzing case studies from urban centers to remote villages, the patterns remain hauntingly similar. Societal norms dictate behavior, but within the silence of the crowd, the echoes of empathy often fade into oblivion. As we prepare for the final verdict, we must confront a stark reality. Bystanders are not mere observers. They are participants in a complex interplay of morality and fear. In the end, the choices made or not made shape the very fabric of humanity. The somber truth lingers. In the face of unthinkable events, compassion can be both a beacon and a burden. The sterile scent of antiseptic lingers in the air, A single fluorescent bulb casts a harsh glow on the cold, unforgiving steel table. Documents are meticulously arranged, each page a testament to the complexity of the human mind, the intricate dance between empathy and apathy. The case before us unfolds within the walls of a clinical observation room. The subject, an individual with a pronounced antisocial profile, sits rigidly, eyes devoid of warmth. Clinical notes detail behaviors that oscillate between profound disconnection and fleeting moments of insight. In this environment, silence reigns, punctuated only by the quiet rustle of paper as professionals scrutinize the data. Behavioral deviations manifest as a chilling juxtaposition, the ability to understand others' emotions yet an unwillingness to engage with them. This paradox is not mere coincidence. It is a psychological bridge, one that connects the individual's inner turmoil to their outward actions. Like an intricate web, empathy and apathy interlace, creating a landscape where compassion remains a distant echo. In our deep dive, we explore the neural pathways involved. The brain's amygdala, responsible for emotional responses, often lies dormant in those with pronounced apathy. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, the seat of reasoning, engages in a cold calculus. What emerges is a chilling portrait of a mind that can analyze emotion without feeling its weight. The individual becomes a spectator in their own existence, navigating the world with a clinical detachment. Zooming out, we consider the global perspective. Across cultures, empathy functions as a societal glue, fostering connections and nurturing resilience. Yet in stark contrast, apathy breeds isolation. In today's fragmented world, where screens often replace faces, the disconnection can spread like a virus. The implications are staggering, a reflection of not only individual experiences, but collective societal health. The final verdict is grim. Empathy and apathy are not merely opposing forces. They are intertwined in a complex tapestry of human experience. As we continue to unravel these threads, we confront an unsettling truth. Understanding compassion in unthinkable events requires grappling with the shadows of apathy that lurk just beneath the surface. The echoes of empathy resonate, but they are often drowned out by the silence of indifference. The air hangs heavy with unspoken words, the intricate tapestry of human behavior in the wake of profound deviation. The room is sterile, clinical. White walls, fluorescent lights overhead casting a harsh glow on neatly arranged documents. Each file a testament to the complexity of the human psyche. Silence reigns, punctuated only by the rustle of paper. Data points lie before us, a mosaic of statistics and case studies, each illuminating a facet of the subject's psyche. Moving forward requires us to dissect the behavioral case with precision. The individual in question exhibits marked deviations from societal norms. Patterns emerge: impulsivity, emotional detachment, and alarming indifference to the consequences of their actions. These are not mere anomalies, they are the building blocks of an antisocial profile. To understand, we must engage in a clinical examination. Now we traverse the psychological bridge. Imagine the brain as a complex network of pathways. In our subject, certain routes are obstructed. Empathy, a vital conduit, is stifled. Neural responses to distress are muted, akin to a radio tuned to static. The absence of emotional resonance creates a chasm, alienating the individual from the broader spectrum of human experience. The deep dive reveals deeper fissures. Trauma, often an undercurrent in such profiles, shapes behavior in profound ways. Neurobiological studies suggest a correlation between early, adverse experiences and later emotional dysfunction. The subject's history unveils a narrative of disconnection, a childhood marked by neglect, a formative environment devoid of nurturing. Each detail adds weight to the psychological profile, lending insight into their current state. We must also consider the global perspective. Across cultures, responses to crises vary. In certain contexts, compassion is a shared value, a collective instinct. Yet in others, the echoes of empathy are drowned out by survival instincts. Our subject's environment, perhaps, echoed a harsher reality, one where vulnerability was not only unrecognized, but punished. Finally, we arrive at the verdict. The threads of understanding weave together. The subject's actions, while unthinkable, are not devoid of context. Each deviation tells a story, each profile a window into a fractured human experience. To move forward requires us to embrace this complexity, to challenge our perceptions, and to foster empathy in a world often resistant to its embrace. In the end, we are left with a haunting thought. Can we truly move forward without understanding the echoes of empathy that resonate within us all?